Wizard of West LA here. Welcome to Python Programming. Today we are going to use, this is a step 1 program here for introductory to Python programming. We're going to use a simple app which is available on Android and iOS, and you can do the same programming on any computer. Yeah, any computer. You can actually download, I will show you later how to download the Python programming. It's like a compiler, which is a program to actually write code, and then you can actually see what the code does. So I will go through that with you. For this one, to get some practice in here, you can download this program on iOS or Android called Sketch Python. And what you do is when it's installed on your device, you can click it or touch it, and I'm going to show you a way to write a program. Okay, so what you do, you click it and you will get this where it'll open the sketch. Okay, you touch, if it's not on the screen, don't panic, touch the upper left, you'll see that file folder right here. You'll see a file folder. Okay, hit that plus, which is under the file folder. We hit the plus, and it wants you to make a new name. Okay, this program, we'll call it hello. So you type the word hello and then hit save. Okay, so what we're going to do, it printed that. It always prints that as default. I'm going to give you a little lesson here on how to use this. If you want the computer to print you a message, you use, as you saw there, the word print. Okay, so let's do that. Print, and then you put a space, and you put not a double quote, but a single quote. Hello. And then anything that you end, you put a quote at the end. So you start it with a quote, everything in the middle, you put the text which you're going to do, and then you put the quote to end it. Then you hit enter. Okay, it will wait for line 2. Now, to display it, to make the computer run this code, on the upper right, you will notice a shape that looks like a play button. Okay, push that button, and it will display hello, which is exactly the code that you wanted to do. Now, to go back and continue editing, click on where it says hello.py. That will always appear with the name of the program you created, .py, which obviously the ending stands for Python. So you click that. Okay, now let's try something else. You can put multiple lines. You can even put another line. Hello, space, and I'll put my name. There, okay. Now how do we run it? Good. It's on the upper right, that play symbol. You push it and you're running the program. So there it says, hello Edward. Now let's say you want to enter a name. You want a user to enter a name and then print it. Okay, so we're going to go back and we're going to modify this program. Now what you can do, you can touch it on one of the lines, or if you're on a computer, you can actually just hit the delete key. You can move the mouse to like the end of one of the lines and just hit the delete key. So let's delete them. I'm hitting the backspace or delete key. Okay. Now we're going to learn about receiving a message from the outside world and then printing it. Okay, so now using the same idea that we had, let's get a number from the outside world, which puts it into the bag, the number bag, and then we will do something with that number just to see what it is. So what you do is we can go back to this, we can say number, okay, is equal to, remember that's the name of the bag, number, or the variable, and we're going to say, we're going to get I'm going to type this and then explain this to you. This is very much the same as what we were doing before. Okay. Now that line right there is saying on the number, which is the name of that variable, it wants you to enter a number, okay? And what int is, int stands for integer, which an integer is basically, it's a whole number, and it's a number that is not a decimal or a fraction, okay? So what it's saying is to have the outside world enter in a number, okay? An integer number like 3, 4, 5, 1, okay? And what we're going to do is after the person enters the number, we're going to display the number, which is which command? Good. Print, okay? And then we can say number. Remember, that's that variable or bag. Whatever they enter, let's add a 1 to it, okay? So whatever you enter in, it's going to display that number and add 1 to it. Okay, so this is your first input statement, getting information from the outside world into the computer. So we'll go back to this. Number is the variable or the bag that holds it, so to speak. Int is the integer, which means we're entering in a whole number that doesn't have a decimal after it. And we're going to use the command input, and then it's going to say enter a number. The reason why I put a space here is because when you enter the number in, you want, when the computer is asking to enter the number, you kind of want to put a little space, because after that space, that's where you're going to put the number. So let's run this. On the upper right, you will see that play button again. So I'm going to run it, okay? So now you get enter a number. You notice the space that is there right after the word number, okay? And you see the little blinking cursor. So let's put 3 in there, and then we will hit enter, and it displays 4. 3 plus 1 is 4. So let's go back to the code and see what happened. So now you have number, okay, which is the variable. It's making it as integer, and it's surrounded. Notice the brackets. This is surrounding, the integer has its bracket that's surrounding this inside, which is the input. And then you have input has its own bracket surrounding enter a number, okay? So they're surrounded. So remember the rule. If you have 2 on this side pointing this direction, you must have 2 on the other side pointing the opposite direction. Let's change this to 3, okay? So it's going to print whatever number they put in plus 3. It's going to add 3 to it. Let's try that. So let's put a number 3 in there, and now we get 6 when you push the enter key. So that is a basic idea of how to receive information from the world. The next video will be about how to enter characters or text and how to manipulate that or change it or just display it. So remember, hit the like button for the video, and also definitely subscribe to keep yourself up to date with all the videos. I'm going to be posting a lot more on programming in Python. I am basically getting you ready for programming the Raspberry Pi so you can turn on and off lights. So I'm giving you a good little rundown here of some programming code and teaching you how to do this. This is a lot of fun, and Python is a really fun language to learn, definitely. So always remember, like I said, hit the like button and subscribe button, and always remember, keep on learning.